Oh, man, we got a lot. It's been a few days, family. So we want to get to your, number one hip hop stories. But first, before we get started, we want to encourage everybody to go ahead and hit the like button and make sure you share this video, family. We definitely appreciate it. I've been doing a heck of a job, quickly. Well, yesterday we was chilling, sitting in the house, and we all seen that our brother, man, this is very disappointing, for Jim Jones, was actually, I'll give you the backstory. Now, according to police, this Coweta County Sheriff, which is down there in Georgia, they conducted a traffic stop on a Mercedes SUV. So after smelling marijuana and observing this vehicle going in and out of lanes on Interstate 85, when the cops pulled the vehicle over, they said the SUV took off, crashed into, a police cruiser. Now, to make it even worse, here's what they found in the car, right? They found 2 pill bottles, 31 oxycodone pills, a container of marijuana, some vaporizers, and 2 loaded handguns. Now, the problem with the situation is nobody is claiming the handgun. The only thing Jim Jones is claiming is that the oxycodone pills were his. And then running into the deputy. What's going on with this, Sam, man? You got Jim Jones, the owner of a team, doing some positive things. We did a great story on him a few months ago. And now there's Sam and what's going on with my man Jim Jones? Wrong place at the wrong time with this bad decision, man. What's going on?
This pisses me off, man. This really does, because I honestly was on the verge of talking to you and having discussion with you, telling you in particular, this dude Jim Jones is probably a good 5 to 10 years away from sitting in the conversation with your Diddy's, your Jay-Z's, your 50 Cents, your Dr. Dre's, your Birdmans, the moguls within hip hop, because of the decision making and the moves that he were making. We also did a video on his brother Joel Santana, and why he's making the moves that he's making, and why he couldn't kind of follow suit with his brothers Jim Jones and Cameron. Why couldn't he? We see Jim Jones, the owner of the Richmond Rough Riders. We heard him on the Breakfast Club talking about how he's trying to integrate hip hop with this ownership shit. We talked about how big of a deal it was for someone like a Jim Jones to have ownership, and how crazy it was. We didn't know about it, and it encouraged us to kind of do it. We had a CEO conversation, if you will, that day. It really had us motivated. So to see something like this really just hurts me and bothers me, because I really hope for real good things for him. I really wanted to see it. I really wanted to see him win. And whether he gets a slap on the wrist or not is really a black eye on Jim Jones. Now let's just talk about the facts at hand. You have 2 bottles of prescription oxycodone pills, one that he claimed, correct? He has 2 guns, one of them being stolen back in March. That's been stolen back in March. You have a vehicle which eluded the officers and then hit a vehicle in Georgia. It doesn't look good. Now you have no one claiming it. 3 people in the car. Someone's going to take the rap. Someone's going to get
all of them
charges.
All of them.
You have Jim Jones with Cameron, with Joel's. They're about to set up for the Dipset tour, about to hit next couple of months. You see Joel Santana, judge granted him the first 5 shows with the ankle bracelet and with his mom's supervision. So he's all in a fucked up situation. This just, this bothers me, man. I want to ask you, what do you see the end result being for Jim Jones? Do you see it as being a slap on the wrist, or do you see something more serious happening for our brother Jim Jones? Well,
like we was talking, in a pre-production meeting, somebody besides Jim Jones, he's the cash cow here. Somebody's going to have to take, the rap for him. Now, the good thing about the situation is the prescription, bottle was, he had a script for that. But, Jim Jones was in the back seat, so he wasn't driving. So he does kind of have a out, if any, but, somebody's gonna have to take that gun charge. That's going to be probably his biggest, problem in this situation. You know what I mean? Definitely.
You asked, is this a situation of him just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or is this Jim Jones' fault? It's Jim Jones' fault. Is as a man, this is Jim Jones' fault, and I think he will look in the mirror and say that it was his fault. You have a situation where you told officers that you didn't know the guns were in the car. That's strike one. You should have knew it was in the whip. Being in the position that you had,
you should know who you was with.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you don't have these kind of people in your circle being the owner of a franchise. They could be your brothers, they could be your sisters, they can always be in your circle, but you got to understand where you're at, what's going on in your situation, so you don't find yourself having the absolute most to lose, because this doesn't look good for him. And this is just, it's ugly, man. No matter what happens, it's so ugly.
But the thing is, though, even, the people in this car, it's all bad, because if they did have the guns, like, if it's yours, it's yours. You got to take the charge. Like, if people know we ride in a car, if I don't ride like we used to back in the day, but whatever's on you, that's yours. Don't try to put it under the seat. You got to be a man and take that charge. So if the pistol's yours, you take it. But just the instance now from the news report, nobody's taking the charge. Jim Jones, you gotta watch your circle's crazy. Your circle's fucked up.
That definitely questions loyalty. You made me come back to a situation back in the day where I got caught with something real minor, some stupid shit, right? In the circle I was with, my man was ready to take that whole shit for me.
Right.
And that's no doubt. Shout out to that brother. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but he knows who he is. He was ready to take that whole joint for me, but they were ready to get him and me on the same charge. So like, I'm not gonna let you eat it and I gotta eat it too. Like, let me go ahead and do it, pay the fine and get the fuck up out of there. But it does question, like, you know it's yours. Why you ain't going there and manning up or being an adult and taking care of that situation, knowing that this brother behind you has the most to lose? Where's your loyalty at, man?
Right.
And Jim Jones being in a situation where you've road fucked up, you've done that, you've been there. You should be in a different kind of status and state in your evolution. Why are you riding with these kind of people still, man? And I'm not trying to downgrade the people he was with, but if you're making these kind of decisions, you got to be questioned, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Do you any chance of this being some type of conspiracy or setup or anything? Because I've seen a lot of people, saying, "Oh, he got set up," or this, that. You think any? No, not.
I don't want to say that yet, but if only way that you can kind of start raising that question is if Jim Jones starts raising the question. Obviously, the guns were found. So he said the guns weren't his. He didn't say anything shady business as far as guns. He said the one oxycodone bottle was his. He didn't fess up to anything. So everything that's coming out is almost leading up kind of right parallel to what Jim Jones is saying. No. He's not coming out saying anything crazy yet. He's not saying that it wasn't the lawyers. Nothing. There's nothing to scream and set up.
Well, let me I want to read this part here that Jim Jones actually said. He said Jim Jones actually claimed that the female companion was the driver of the car, and he actually was telling her to pull over, and she said she was incoherent, maybe drunk or whatever. So, he might have it out here, but I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Now, what do you say to those people out there that's gonna call Jim Jones a snitch? Jim Jones told, Jim Jones did this, because it's gonna be out there. I mean, I went on live shout out to the people at Viral Hip Hop News last night who stuck with me, doing my couple minutes of Jim Jones commentary, and a lot of people are like, damn, Jim Jones told, Jim Jones did this, and I think that's kind of ignorant. What the fuck? You sitting in the back seat and you telling somebody to stop? Like, okay, do you tell it? Like,
I mean, it's like, shouldn't have been in the position, but you're in a position. Fact. But it's just like, damn. I mean, who knows who the driver? Maybe it was a chick that he just met. Who knows who it was? Was it somebody he knew for a long time? Was she drunk? Was she scared? Were they crazy? I don't know. It could have been a whole lot of different, situations. But like you said, man, the CEO or boss, you cannot get caught in these type of situations like this, because it's going to be all over the media. I saw Jim Jones post something, on his Instagram saying that people really care, since everybody's worried about me, listen to the music. Okay, we love your music and all that, but this, this is everywhere. This is crazy, man.
And Jim Jones couldn't say, with all due respect, that we sit here and talk about the negative, because we were trying to highlight every positive thing that brother was doing. We talked about the Richmond Rough Riders and how of a boss thing that was, and how you're revolutionizing something. You got something big going on. Sir. We talk about his music and how come Joel Santana can't look up to him. It's nothing but positivity over here. And this hurts us to have to talk about this right here, but we're going to do it. Got to.
Take that charge. Y'all better take that charge for Jimmy. Jimmy's the cash cow. Y'all need to go sit down. He pay for y'all books. You come out if y'all cool like that, but Jimmy's the cash cow. You can't have him going to prison,
especially if he ain't got, if those weren't his guns.
Right.
Take up for his shit.
And my intuition says he's going to be good. First of all, he got the money to fight it. God, hopefully, his prints weren't on the guns or nothing like that. Hopefully, they won't find out like that. He should be good. At the end of the day, maybe probation or something, but you never know, man. We'll see.
We hope for the best.
See, because something could turn different. Maybe one of the guys might say you never know what might happen from here. So we will keep you updated. If there are any more developments, definitely in this story. You're listening to the Uncensored Truth Podcast with your brother Old God and Sandman.
Yes.
I want to implore everybody to go up top, hit the like button, and make sure that you share this video. And the great part about it, you could do it while you're watching the new content that we're about to put up right now. Because this story right here is crazy.